lot of people in the room. I'm really excited to see everyone. Appreciate the support for Amy. Appreciate the support for progressive movement in Tennessee. We've got a lot of things we want to work on. And Amy, I think, is the best candidate on the ticket to get us where we need to be here in Tennessee and in the South for that matter. So I'm really honored to be here today. I got a call yesterday to do this, and they asked me to give a few remarks, so I'm going to try to warm you up a little bit before Amy gets up here. I don't play Freebird, man. That's not on my repertoire. That said, I have never thought I would ever be a politician, or trying to be a politician, but over in Blount County, there's a big red wall, and we're trying to tear it down. It's going to take some time, but we're trying to make it happen in November. We ran in 2018. We were the first Democrat to run for that seat in a long time. We knocked about 9,000 doors, which you wouldn't believe how surprised some of those folks would be when they answered. They haven't had that happen over there. And we plan on working as hard as we can to make November happen.
Great job, Jay.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Stewart. So we obviously didn't win in 2018, but we didn't lose either because we didn't quit. And we're as emboldened as ever to do something about this. I'm a lifelong Tennessean. I'm very familiar with the political climate of our state. It's very difficult sometimes. But I have friends and neighbors that don't necessarily think like me, but we also have to figure out a way to find some common ground and unite to come together to get things done. And Amy's certainly proven that. So if you're in your community, my mom and dad raised me that if you don't agree with something or you see someone being treated unfairly, don't just sit back and accept it as a status quo, get up there and change it. So I think that's why everybody in this room is here, and I can assure you that's why I'm here, and that's also why Amy Klobuchar is here today. So I want to tell you a couple of things about Amy and I that we actually have in common. Some of it is obviously politically and policy-based. Some of it is just our life experiences. We're both grandkids of miners. Yep. Her grandfather was a iron ore miner in northern Minnesota. My entire family, except my dad and I, didn't end up in the mines, but my papaw and the rest of them were in the western Kentucky coal fields. So we very much understand the value of unions and organized labor and how they protect working families. Amy and I were also raised by public school teachers. Right. So we both know and have witnessed our moms use their own hard-earned money to go buy school supplies because the state is not funding our school system properly. And we are both certainly champions of public education, our public school system, and we know that our moms felt that way as well, but the most important thing to them was a passion to teach our kids and to teach them right. And that includes teaching them about science and climate change. Our public school system here in Tennessee is absolutely under a full frontal attack right now by Governor Lee and our supermajority Republican House and Senate. And I can promise you, any of you teachers out there, you have no bigger ally at the state capitol than I am if you get elected. And you got my ear constantly, and I will help with your son, Mike Stewart, to pass common sense, reasonable bills to protect our public education system and get rid of that crazy voucher. Amy and I believe that access to quality health care is a human right. We both feel that way because we've both been, for lack of a better term, screwed over by the system. I've been a chronic patient with a chronic issue for my entire life, at least since I was 12 years old. And the patients are always the ones that get the short end of the stick. Yeah. And Amy truly believes that we can find some common ground, build upon Obamacare, and make sure that we can provide high quality access to health care for all Tennesseans and everyone in this country. And specifically here in Tennessee, that means we have got to quit letting our legislators in Nashville stick their middle finger up to D.C., and we have got to expand Medicaid. We need to do that now. There are hundreds of thousands of working Tennesseans that do not have access to quality care simply because of our Republican supermajority in Nashville. And if y'all will help me and the other Democratic candidates on the ticket, we'll work as hard as we can to change that with the people that are already up there. Amy and I are both principled progressives that are running to unite and not divide. Unfortunately, our current administration doesn't know how to do that. Amy's record speaks for itself. She's reached across the aisle many times to find that common ground and to get things done as opposed to just simply having a constant roadblock in D.C. That's why I pulled the lever for her last week when I went and early voted. I'm a biology professor at Maryville College, a little small liberal arts school in Blount County. That's right, go Scots. Amy and I both believe in climate change, and we believe in science. We both agree that we have to be more proactive to combat climate change, and we must absolutely act now. And that includes making sure we are training our future teachers to teach science to our kids so that we don't fall behind other countries across the world when it comes to STEM education and workforce training. And finally, I'll say this, and I know from the bottom of my heart that I feel this way, and based on Amy's record and what she's done in D.C. and how she's run her campaign and how she's backed up what she has said, she will look you in the eye and she will tell you what she's going to do, and she'll do it. And we need that more now than ever. So, without any further ado, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce who I hope will be the next president of the United States, Amy Klobuchar.